Before we get started, I want to ask you one question. Have you connected your Google Ads with Claude yet? Well, if you haven't, you need to visit the link that I've dropped in the description. It's a playlist. I've talked about how you can use GrowthSpree's MCP to connect Google Ads, HubSpot, even LinkedIn Ads, Search Console, and Google Analytics with Claude, and just try it out yourself. And it's completely free forever. In today's video, I want you to feel the power of GrowthSpree's MCP. And we've been using it internally for all of our clients, and it's just magical at times, right? It gives you a lot of perspectives, it gives you a lot of ideas. We've been auditing actually 50 plus Google Ads account in the B2B space specifically. These are accounts which have been spending anywhere between $20,000 to $150,000 a month. In fact, I already published a research report, an audit report, collating all of these, I think 43 accounts when we did it almost 3 months back. And you can find that. I've dropped the link in the description below. So moving on, I want to talk about the 5 common mistakes that we saw while we audited all these accounts and many more. Then I'm going to show you how you yourself for free can actually run a deep audit, full funnel audit, mind you, in just minutes. Not hours, not days for sure, in minutes. And then we look at the recommendations around the 5 mistakes that we talk about and what does Claude suggest and how do you read it? How do you trust it? How do you validate it? And how do you actually make use of this powerful infrastructure, which again, I'm so proud that we have been able to do this is free forever for every B2B marketer out there. So let's dive in. So as I promised, I'm going to be showing you and making you feel the power of GrowthSpree's MCP today. As I mentioned, we've been auditing a lot of B2B SaaS Google Ads account, also integrating HubSpot and setting all of it up on Claude using GrowthSpree's MCP. And I'm going to show you one of the audit today, how the audit report comes out from Claude using GrowthSpace MCP. I'm also going to talk about the common mistakes that we find. This audit is a clear example of what most of the B2B accounts, be it spending 20, 30,000 USD to 200,000 USD a month. These are very common mistakes that we found in over 40 plus accounts so far. And finally, I'm going to show you very quickly how you can do it on Claude yourself. And trust me, it's going to be super simple and going to make your life very easy. So let's jump into this audit right here. The audit takes into account everything important around the Google Ads account. So it starts off with, giving you an executive summary. It gives you an overall health score, tells you, what's the total metrics look like, total spend, clicks, CPC, conversion value. Here, it's also pointed out the search IS, which is searches, which is the, how much they are showing up on searches on their keywords. And it's very, very low at this point of time. It's also mentioned the optimization score right here. Cost per conversion, conversions total, which is something that's picking up from HubSpot, right? It goes deeper step by step, right? So now it will do a campaign performance analysis, mention all your campaigns, figures out what is going on in each campaign, what are the different issues in each of the campaigns, right? And this is what it does. So these are different campaigns. It gives you a complete analysis of spend, clicks, conversion, conversion value, cost per conversion. And again, rank, lost, and search both are important, insights coming from auction insights data. It's mentioning it because these are very bad compared to, what realistically you would want. You're losing or you're coming on searches only about 10% times in most of the campaigns, and you're losing rank in almost 75, 80% of the times, which is horrible, right? This is also, by the way, one of the common mistakes, which is the impression share, and how companies are approaching impression share insights and how they're making better decisions in order to optimize campaigns just based on this data. This is by far one of the most common mistakes that you see in most of the B2B accounts that we've audited, which is they've not focused really on the auction insights, and they've not focused on search, they've not focused on lost rank at all, and haven't made any decisions to improve that, which of course, if you have run Google Ads, you will know if you improve these metrics, you will see a considerable difference in the overall pipeline numbers as well. Second, it looks at the quality score, right? Again, very important factor. So again, as I mentioned, go step by step into this audit. It looks at all the keywords, looks at all the search terms as well. What is the expected CTR? What is the ad relevance, the landing page, which regions, what's the quality score? As you can see, everything is marked in red. Again, these color schemes, my bad, also help you, you get a very quick analysis of, you know, basically things are wrong, right? It also finds a few high quality keywords, which are generally your branded keywords. Again, a very, very common use case, a very common scenario in B2B Google Ads. The branded keywords will have high quality score. Remaining, nobody has actually focused on the quality score of the keywords, which in turn you will see in other parameters also impacts your ad copy relevance, your ad strength, your conversion rates, your CTRs, your cost per click, your overall cost that is spent. So it's all correlated, as we all know. And again, this is again another common problem that is there. Next is the search term analysis. Just like the keyword level analysis, it also looks at the search terms. Here, another common problem or something that is missing in most of the B2B Google Ads account is the negative keyword practice. Search terms are coming, traffic is coming, you're spending money, nobody's looking at which are the search terms actually relevant. Should we mark them negative? Should we include them? That is again a practice not being done, which is something that we, the GrowthSpree MCP on Claude also audits the account and looks at, very quickly looks at the search terms. And one of the core reasons of you wasting money is these irrelevant search terms where your ads are showing and people are clicking. Next is geography and device. Again, no optimization in most of the cases is done based on the geography and device as well. In most of the B2B SaaS cases, you will find desktop as the primary conversion source. However, mobile in certain cases works well. There is no right answer, right? So you need to look at this data and you need to make those optimization. You need to make those bidding rules based on the devices as well as geography. Sometimes people would only put US as one geography, right? You have different states in the United States itself. You would want to segregate them. You would want to, include all the relevant states and cities instead of doing the entire bit. The second scenario is what you see here. They're a global company. They're selling globally. There are multiple locations where they're running these campaigns, and it's able to map the entire output from Google Ads to HubSpot at a geography level and helps you understand where you're actually going right, where there's a scope of improvement, and again, most importantly, where are you actually wasting money? So device and geography, again, another problem that we see, another data point that, the audit by GrowthSpree MCP picks up very quickly. Next is conversion tracking. I think conversion tracking is, how do I put it? I think 95% of the accounts we've audited either do not have a conversion tracking in place or it's all messed up, completely messed up, irrelevant. We need to understand Google Ads works more on the signals you send back rather than your initial targeting, especially in today's age. Google Ads focuses on AI Max, demand gen, PMax campaigns. Signals play an important role. These conversions play an important role. When you don't have conversions, you are missing out on value-based conversions, which help you, in your bidding strategies, in your overall scale-up strategies as well. And of course, this means that you are, in most cases, losing and wasting a lot of money. So this I would rate as the number one problem that most of the Google Ads account have is to do with the conversion tracking. And yeah, the audit does pick that up as well. The audit does not just stay to data points around Google Ads, the bidding, the auction insights, the keywords, etc. It also looks at your ad copy. And ad copy is not a common problem statement. Generally, ad copies would be good by in most of the accounts. However, you also need to understand some technicalities with Google Ads. You need to have a good Google ad copy strength. But in this case, if you see, there are in this case, as you see, ad copy is not really a big issue, but we've seen problems with people not using keywords in the headlines directly or descriptions in the search campaigns, people not using um, your keywords in the landing pages, people and accounts pinning a lot of headlines, H1, H2, trying to fight the algorithm. Please don't do that. Work on how Google is, and in that direction, figure out some proxies and try to crack it. But yeah, ad copy is not the biggest concern. However, it is the ad copies that drive your CTR. The quality score is important. It's directly related to your ad copies as well. So it has to be very much your focus. However, I think most of the clients have that sorted. Impression share is something that I've already talked about. Again, a big problem. And yeah, finally, the GrowthSpree MCP audit also looks at landing pages and is able to provide you with analysis around your landing pages for the campaigns as well. Finally, the audit talks about recommendations, the direct recommendations. I think it's self-explanatory. In these cases, for example, it's asking obviously negative keywords is missing. You need to pause zero value keywords, fix lead form tracking, which is, again, missing for a particular region. Certain campaigns are not performing well, so you need to pause them. You need to restructure the account. This is also one of the important problem statements, especially with companies running at higher budgets at large scale. They will have like 80, 90 campaigns, right? And not enough conversions are coming in B2B. It's difficult. So you need to restructure, you need to make sure if 90 campaigns are there, you need to deliver 50 conversions a month per campaign. So we're talking about 4,500 conversions. And that's most cases, that's not going to happen. So you need to restructure your campaigns is also something very common that we've seen. Not giving enough budget, not giving enough conversions for campaigns actually to learn and perform. So please keep that in mind as well. So yeah, the MCP gives you priority-wise actionable recommendations, what exactly you need to do. Best part is if you don't understand any of this recommendation, you can prompt on Claude and just ask it to give you absolute all details. In fact, it can also give you step-by-step process of making any certain change that it's asked for. One of the things that I would like you guys to remember is it's AI at the end of the day. Do not trust the data blindly. Do validate in certain cases to build that trust, like let it earn your trust rather than you're giving it all out, right? And so the final question that I think everybody wants on an answer to is how does it actually work on Claude? So when you're on Claude, I mean it's so simple. I do not have anything specific. I just ask, as you can see, in the plain simple language. I keep on asking questions. I will ask it to give, run a wasted ad spend, just give it details as much as possible. Run it, look at the data, validate it. If you feel certain discrepancies, if you want more information about particular thing, more data about anything, you want recommendations, you want some advice, you want it to act as a consultant, as an analyst, as a CMO, as a head of marketing, as your colleague, it can do that. Just make sure that you prompt it. And it would take you not more than 5-10 minutes to get the momentum going. Probably in the next 1 hour, you'll be able to do a complete deep analysis of your Google Ads account. What you need to remember is before you press enter, you need to check on connectors and see that GrowthSpree MCP server is enabled. If you've not set it up, the link is again in the description. You can set up GrowthSpree MCP on your Claude and connect Google Ads, HubSpot, and other marketing platforms as well. Thank you.